video will explain Pascal's problems of points by Aimee, Antonia and Zoe.
Well, what happened? Pascal and Fermat were playing a game where a coin was tossed for 100 sovereigns. Pascal was heads and Fermat was tails.
Whilst they were playing, Fermat had to leave. The score was Fermat had 8 and Pascal had 7.
How are they going to split the money fairly?
The first option that we came up with was splitting the money 50-50.
But that's unfair.
Yes, because Fermat was closer to winning. He was 1 point in front of Pascal.
The second option that we came up with was that the person in the lead would take it all.
But that's unfair.
Because neither of them had reached the final target, which was 10 points, and therefore Pascal still had a chance of beating Fermat and coming in the lead.
Our third option was ratio, splitting the money depending on the number of points that they have. Pascal would have had £46.20 and Fermat would have got £52.80.
But that's unfair.
Yes, because in this case every point is treated equally and some points have more value the more you get into the game. So, for example, the point that decides going 1 to 2 is not as valuable as the point deciding 9 to 10.
We decided then to think about what could have happened if the game carried on. And we wrote down the outcomes that Pascal would have needed to win.
We did the same with Fermat.
We then drew a probability tree. That made it more effective to calculate the outcomes and made it easier to see. As the coin was tossed more, the tree continued to disperse, and soon there became 4 final outcomes. As you can see, when 2 tails were tossed, that meant Fermat won, because he was on 8, so he only had 2 more points to get to 10, and that gave him a 1 out of 4 chance of winning. If 2 tails were not tossed, a third coin toss would have been needed to do. As you can see, here it was tails, heads, tails, and that shows that Fermat wins. Also, heads, tails, tails, Fermat wins, and the likelihood of this happening was 1/8. Over here, Pascal has also achieved 3 heads, and the likelihood of that happening is also 1/8.
And finally, after the coin had been tossed 4 times, the game had definitely finished. And as you can see, there were 6 end outcomes, and 3 out of 6 were Fermat winning, and 3 out of 6 were Pascal winning. So they both had an equal chance.
There were 16 possible answers. 5 of them would have equaled to Pascal winning, and 11 of them would have equaled to Fermat winning.
So the probability of them winning overall by the money would have been, to calculate this for Pascal, would have been 100 divided by 16 times 5, which was the amount of times he would win when the coin was tossed for him, and that was £31.25. And for Fermat, we did £100 divided by 16 times 11, which was how many coin tosses were in Fermat's favour, and that equaled £68.75.
No, that's fair.
Yes, it is fair, because it gives each person an amount based on their chances of winning.
So to conclude, all's well that ends well, and Fermat gets his fair share and so does Pascal.